Hello everyone, my name is Alexis and welcome to class today. I have a really juicy shoulder, neck, and upper body class for you. You want to make sure that you're going to have a strap or something similar nearby, a belt, a rope, a jump rope, dog leash, something like that. We're going to begin in child's pose. You have a couple options here. I'm in a wide-legged child's pose with my arms stretched out in front of me. If having your knees together and reaching your arms back behind you towards your feet feels better, do that. The goal of this class is to create a little bit of space in between the collarbones, allow the shoulders and the neck to decompress and relax, and to loosen up any tension you have in your upper body. We spend so much of our lives hunched forward over our computers, over our desks, over our phones, over our cars, and hopefully this class can be a balm and a different way of moving, opening up your body, moving your torso and your arms and your neck in a different way than we normally do. Yoga is, of course, beautifully useful to examine how we move on a day-to-day basis and allow ourselves to change that movement, to counteract some of those more intense, sustained ways of existing in the world and in our bodies. So here in your child's pose, you're going to lift yourself up and walk your hands over to the left. Make sure that right hip stays nice and grounded. You're just getting a nice stretch all in the side body and hopefully in the right armpit as well. So if you had your hands reaching behind you towards your feet, reach them forward now over to the left. Everything in our bodies is connected. So when we work our shoulders, our arms, our upper body, our neck, all of those pieces work together. So if you have neck tension, a lot of times it can help to stretch out your shoulders and vice versa, simply because everything in our bodies is connected. What happens in one part of our body doesn't happen in a vacuum. It doesn't happen singularly or by itself. There's always ramifications and consequences for everything in our bodies. Go ahead and lift yourself up, walk your hands over to the right, and same thing, that left hip really grounds into the mat, almost like there's a weight on your left hip pushing it toward the mat. And then from that place of firmness and stability, you can reach up with the left hand over to the right so you can get a nice stretch in that under armpit and in the side of your body. As we move through these different poses, just continue to breathe. Check in with yourself. Come back to center and walk your hands in a little bit. We're going to come into a thread the needle variation in child's pose. So lift yourself up, bring your weight onto your left hand, and slide the right arm underneath the left. So it's going to be a little less intense than a regular thread the needle that we do from tabletop pose, which we will do later. So you're not going as far as you would in a regular thread the needle, but you're still reaching that right arm underneath you, seeing if you can gently twist the right shoulder towards the left. The left arm can be reaching in front of you, in front of your face, wherever feels comfortable. And then lift yourself back up and you're just going to switch sides. So the right arm's going to reach in front of you, left arm's going to slide underneath the right bicep, lower yourself down onto your left shoulder. And breathe. This is a pretty subtle stretch, but we're just gently warming up the body here, inviting in a little bit of movement. If you woke up really sore in your upper body, hopefully these movements are creating a little bit of space. Very often when we wake up with soreness, the antidote to that is movement. If you're sore anywhere, movement, gentle movement will help. And that's what we're working on here. Gentle movement, gentle stretches. Come back to center and walk your hands back. If you were in a wide-legged child's pose, go ahead and bring your knees together. You have two options for this next bit as well. You can stay kneeling in hero pose, or you can come with me and curl the toes underneath you and sit back on your heels to come into a toe stretch. Pick your poison, give your shoulders a little shimmy, and then we're going to come into eagle arms, wrapping the right arm underneath the left, and you can bind once or twice. And if eagle arms isn't accessible to you, give yourself a hug. Wherever you are, lift your elbows up to the ceiling, maybe look up as well, and then exhale, curl the spine into you. Inhale, lift up, open up, exhale, crunch in. Little gentle cat-cow here. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, crunch in. Beautiful. Come back to center. Unwind the arms. And we're just going to switch the side of eagle arm. So left arm wraps underneath. Lift the elbows. Lift the hands. Look up. And exhale, curl into yourself. Inhale, lift up. Open up across the chest and shoulders. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold into yourself. Unleash the arms. If you would like to, you can release the toes now. You can continue keeping the toes stretched underneath you if you would like, but that was enough for me. So wiggle out your toes if you're coming with me, and go ahead, get yourself comfortable and grab your strap. We're going to come into some strap arm circles. These are one of my favorites. You just want to grab the strap so that your hands are a little outside of your shoulders. You don't want them in line with your shoulders. You want them wider. And generally here, you want to be generous with yourself, because we're going to inhale the strap up and over and let our arms fall behind us. And you might find that you need to widen your grip on the strap. I almost always do. Let your arms fall behind you. The strap allows a little bit of stability. And then exhale the arms down into your lap. Inhale, lift the arms up and over behind you. Exhale, lower them around and down. We'll do just a couple more like that. Inhaling the arms and the strap up and around, allowing the shoulders and the collarbones to stretch. Exhaling, lower the arms in front of you. Beautiful. Well done. Now I'm going to turn around on my mat so you can see what I'm doing, but you can stay as you are. We're going to come into our archer arm stretch. I want you to grab the strap in your right hand, and you're just going to reach the right arm straight up to the ceiling and then bend at the elbow so the hand is behind your neck. With your left hand, you're going to reach behind you and grab the strap and pull the strap down towards the mat. If you would like to, you can try walking that left hand up the strap, but it's totally optional. I'm not doing it because I'm prioritizing getting a stretch in my right bicep and tricep and armpit. Beautiful. Release both arms. This time, put the strap in the left hand, reach the arm up to the ceiling, bend at the elbow, and you use the right hand to pull that left hand holding the strap down towards the mat. It might be fun to pay attention here too. Does one arm feel different than the other? For me, my left arm is a little more flexible, so this didn't feel like as much of a stretch as it did on my right arm, which is not as flexible. Continue to breathe. Imagine your sits bones are anchoring into the mat beneath you, and then let everything go. Beautiful. I'm going to turn around to face you. And from here, we're going to come into a couple gentle neck stretches. It doesn't matter how you're seated for this, but with any neck stretches, the goal is to go gently. Drop the chin into the chest first, and just breathe into the back of the neck. Check in. How does your neck feel? How does the space between your shoulder blades feel? Imagine you can breathe directly into that place, into that back of neck area to expand it, make it bigger, and exhale to release. And then just rock the right ear over to the right shoulder to get a stretch in the left side of the neck. And again, like I said, go gently here. We never want to force anything with the neck. We really want to allow kind of gravity and our own body weight to do the work on us. We don't want to over stress the neck. It's a very gentle area. Rock the chin back through center to the left side, this time stretching the right side of the neck. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, sitting up nice and tall. And then rock the chin back into the center of your chest. Take a deep breath into the back of the neck. See if anything feels different. And then lift your chin up. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into tabletop pose. We're making our way towards those real official thread the needles. But before we begin that, let's do a couple cat-cows here. So just move through your version of cat-cow. I like to rock back and forth as I breathe in and out in my cat-cow. You might like to do body rolls instead today. You might want to sit back in child's pose again. Up to you. But just continue, breathe wherever you are. Check in with your back, your upper back, your shoulder, your neck. Beautiful. And then come up to tabletop pose. Lift the left arm up to the ceiling and exhale, thread it underneath the right to come into our full version of thread the needle. You have a couple options with the right arm here. You can keep the right hand in front of your face. You can reach it straight out in front of you, or you can wrap that hand behind you to try and reach for your left thigh if you want a bind to open up your shoulders a little bit more. Not required. Find something that feels good here. I don't want you to be focusing on stretching. I want you to focus on finding what feels good. Lift yourself back up into tabletop, and we're just going to switch sides. So right arm reaches up to the ceiling and thread the right arm underneath the left armpit. And again, left hand is in front of the face, reaches straight out in front of you, or wraps behind you for a bind. Yogi's choice. Beautiful. Bring the left hand back in front of the face, push yourself back up into tabletop pose, and then from here we're going to come into puppy pose. Make sure your hips are over your knees, and then just take a big step forward with one hand, big step forward with the other hand, lower the chest to the mat. I am bending at my elbows here. I find this allows me to stretch deeper into my collarbones on the front of my chest. If this is uncomfortable for you, that's fine. You can just leave your arms stretched out in front of you. Like I said, the goal isn't to go super deep. The goal is to find what feels good. Wherever you are in your puppy pose, go ahead and just slide yourself forward so you come to lie down on your belly. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose next. So elbows underneath the shoulders, pressing into the mat with the forearms. And then from here, we're going to do what's called shoelace. So you're going to slide the right arm underneath the left and then cross the left arm in front of you and lay down on your arms. This can be a pretty intense pose. You might need to keep your head lifted like I am. And we won't be here for very long. So just feel into how it feels, what sensations you're feeling in your body, where you feel it in your arms, upper back, shoulders. Beautiful. And then we're gonna just switch the cross of the arms. So lift yourself up a little bit. Left arm crosses now, and then right arm crosses in front of it, and again, lower down. And this side might be different. Like I said, my right arm is a lot less flexible than my left, so this side was harder for me. Feel into what your body is telling you today, what your body is experiencing and existing in today. And then lift yourself out of it, and we'll come back into Sphinx. In your Sphinx, allow your shoulders to relax away from the ears, almost as if your shoulder blades could waterfall down your back. Press the hips into the mat, and then lower yourself down and make your way onto your back, however you want to get there. You have a couple options for Shavasana today. Now, I'm going to come into Shavasana and grab my elbows over my head. So I'll be clasping my opposite elbows with my hands over my head. If you have props and practice fish pose and no fish pose, by all means. Fish pose is a lovely, wonderful pose to do for the shoulders and upper back. So if you have those resources, if that's within your practice and you want to do that today to add to this flow, do it. If not, if you're like, I don't know what fish pose is, Alexis, that's fine. Come with me into Shavasana, let your feet go wide, reach your arms up over your head, and just clasp opposite elbows. And breathe here. And today I'm going to challenge you. Take a feel into which hand is clasping which elbow and switch your grip. If there's a hand in front, make sure it's the one in the back. We want to kind of shake up the nervous system a little bit here. Otherwise, relax into your Shavasana, breathe, and let everything go. This is the time to let that work percolate in your upper body. And it's okay too if you don't feel a change right away. A lot of times, change is slow in our bodies. If we deal with chronic pain or chronic soreness, we have to readdress those things over and over and over again on a daily basis to see both results and to feel relief. So no matter where you are, no matter what this class did for you today, accept it and say thank you to yourself. Wherever you are, begin to make your way up into a seated position. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana or fish pose for as long as you want, but if you need to go, come up to a cross-legged seated position. And when you get there, inhale the arms down, around, up, overhead, and exhale the hands to heart center, and say thank you to yourself for practicing. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because of course there's always more yoga coming your way. And until next time, have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.